Oh, bless her heart. Somewhere out there, a woman named Moonstone Mary. Yes, Moonstone Mary, because apparently regular names are too oppressive for her free-spirited soul. She has decided to take a stand so noble, so righteous, so utterly unmoored from reality, that it deserves its own exhibit in the Museum of Self-Owns. My name is Sirius. This is Unfluenced. We got another Karen that escaped the asylum. Here we go. In a Facebook post that reads like a fever dream scribbled on the back of a hemp tote bag, Mary has declared war on Etsy. Why? Well, because they have the audacity to allow shops to sell Alligator Alcatraz gear. The horror, the inhumanity. Quick, someone fetch her fainting couch and some lavender-scented artisanal tissues. Let's dive into this masterpiece of derangement, shall we? Mary's post is a shining beacon of everything wrong with the perpetually aggrieved liberal white woman who seem to think the world revolves around their feelings. In a case study in Karenology, a tantrum so spectacular it could headline Coachella's outrage stage. Here's the post in all of its unfiltered glory, followed by a dissection so sharp it could cut through her hand-dyed organic cotton yoga pants. The post, verbatim, because it's too perfect to paraphrase. Thank you for visiting my shop. I am currently boycotting Etsy as they have shops selling gear promoting cruel concentration camps in America. Please join the boycott so we can demonstrate to Etsy that we care about all, not just the rich, and that we reject the heartless autocracy led by the GOP in America. Feel free to visit me on Facebook at Moonstone Mary if you are interested in directly purchasing beautiful handmade jewelry. I can also be reached through Pinterest and Gmail. I rarely make a sale, probably spend more on materials than I make with my handmade jewelry. But I was thinking about adding a square shop through Etsy. But we'll have to not do that now until I see those shops taken down. I've been on Etsy for over a decade. Where do we start? This is a buffet of absurdity. I'm ready to pile my plate high with every delicious morsel of nonsense. Let's break it down, point by point. Savor the sheer lunacy of Moonstone Mary's meltdown. Point 1. The outrage over a t-shirt is just peak Karen energy. First off, let's address the core of Mary's meltdown. She's clutching her cruelty-free pearls because some Etsy shops are selling Alligator Alcatraz gear. Oh no, not merch, not capitalism. How dare a platform allow people to sell things that she doesn't personally approve of? This is the kind of logic that makes you wonder if Mary has ever stepped foot in a store. Newsflash, Moonstone, stores sell stuff. Sometimes it's stuff you don't like. I remember I once saw a gas station selling neon green trucker hats that said Big Daddy embroidered in Comic Sans. Yeah, did I demand the place be burned to the ground? No. I just kept walking because that's how adults function in the free market. But not Mary. Oh no. She's got that main character syndrome dialed up to 11. She's convinced that her personal offense is a global crisis. She's not just boycotting Etsy. She's demanding they shut down these shops entirely. Can you feel the Karen energy radiating from her keyboard? It's like she's mentally screaming, "Can I speak to Etsy's manager?" Listen, if you don't like the Alligator Alcatraz t-shirts, Mary, here's a wild idea. Don't buy them. Problem solved. No need to stage a one-woman protest like you're chaining yourself to a bulldozer in the rainforest. This level of entitlement is breathtaking. Mary's not content to just opt out of capitalism. She wants to dictate what everyone else can buy or sell. It's the kind of authoritarian flex that would make a Soviet commissar blush. But sure, you tell me more about how the GOP is the heartless autocracy here, Mary. The irony is so thick you could spread it on her gluten-free toast. Point 2. Alligator Alcatraz. Let's get to the meat of her complaint. Alligator Alcatraz. For those not in the know, Alligator Alcatraz is a catchy little nickname for a new detention facility designed to temporarily house illegal migrants who have broken the law. You know, people who cross the border without permission, which last time I checked, yep, still a crime. The plan is simple. Hold them briefly, process them, send them back to their home countries. Well, it sounds like straightforward enforcement of existing laws, right? Well, not to Moonstone Mary. To her, this is a cruel concentration camp. Yes, she actually used those words, because nothing says concentration camp like a facility with beds, pillows, basic security, designed for temporary stays. Let's unpack this just a little bit more, because Mary's grasp of reality is shakier than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. First, the name Alligator Alcatraz. It's just objectively hilarious. It's got that punchy, memorable vibe that makes for great branding. Hence, the merch flying off Etsy's virtual shelves. But Mary's not laughing. She's probably seen some grainy MSNBC clip or a viral X post with dramatic music and sepia-toned images, claiming these facilities are the second coming of Dachau. Spoiler alert, they're not. Now, these are modern detention centers. They're not gulags. They've got basic amenities, beds, pillows, food, security. Now, compare that to the Obama-era cages. Now, her words would probably be like cozy holding pens if she were consistent. Those are where migrants were packed in like sardines with nothing but a foil blanket and a dream. Yet somehow Trump, he's the monster here? Okay. Mary's outrage is built on a foundation of misinformation so flimsy it could collapse under the weight of a single Google search. These facilities aren't about cruelty. They're about enforcing the law. Illegal migrants aren't being tortured. They're being processed and then sent home. It's not a 5-star resort because, shocker, prison isn't supposed to be Club Med. Criminals don't get memory foam mattresses and complimentary mimosas. They get the basics briefly, then they're deported. Now, if Mary thinks that's cruel, she might want to crack open a history book and learn what actual concentration camps looked like. They didn't involve pillows. Point 3. Care about all, well, except the law-abiding, apparently. Oh, but Mary's not done. She's got a bigger mission, to show Etsy that we care about all, not just the rich. I'm sorry, what? The rich? How did we get from t-shirts to class warfare? This is like watching someone solve a Rubik's Cube by throwing it into a blender. Let's connect the dots that Mary clearly missed. Alligator Alcatraz is for detaining illegal migrants who have committed crimes. Now, everything from human trafficking to drug smuggling, sexual assault, carjacking, tax fraud, welfare fraud, and even murder. These aren't the tired, huddled masses yearning to breathe free. These are the worst of the worst, the kind of folks who make you lock your doors at night. Yet somehow, Mary has decided that these are the people we should care about all. Not the victims of their crimes, not the taxpayers footing the bill for their detention, not the young women who just want to walk through the park without fear. No, Mary's heart bleeds for the criminals. It's the kind of moral gymnastics that deserves a gold medal in cognitive dissonance. And the rich part? I'm still trying to figure that one out. Is she implying that only rich people want secure borders? Or maybe that Etsy is making bank off of Alligator Alcatraz t-shirts? Either way, it's a non sequitur so bizarre it could star in a David Lynch film. This is classic liberal white woman syndrome. Take a complex issue, strip it of all nuance, and turn it into a bumper sticker for her Subaru. Mary has been fed a steady diet of propaganda, and she's regurgitating it like a toddler with a sugar high. The idea that enforcing immigration laws is about the rich and oppressing all is so detached from reality, it might as well be fan fiction. But facts don't matter when you're mainlining MSNBC and chasing that sweet, sweet moral superiority. Point 4. The heartless autocracy of following the law? Mary's pièce de résistance is her lament about the heartless autocracy led by the GOP in America. Oh, honey, please. Since when is enforcing the law heartless? Last I checked, laws exist for a reason. Like, say, protecting citizens from crime. The GOP's push for secure borders isn't about autocracy. It's about accountability. I know, you probably never heard that word before. Listen, illegal migrants who commit crimes don't get a free pass because they crossed a border first. They're not victims. They're perpetrators. And yet, Mary's out here acting like deporting them is a war crime. Let's break it down. The government's job is to protect its citizens. It's really its main job. That means keeping murderers, traffickers, and carjackers off the streets, regardless of their immigration status. It means ensuring your tax dollars aren't spent housing illegal migrants in luxury hotels while veterans sleep on the sidewalk. But to Mary, this is heartless. Why? Because she's bought into the Democratic playbook that paints criminals as misunderstood heroes and law enforcement as the villain. It's a worldview so warped it could star in a funhouse mirror. And let's talk about that autocracy jab. Mary's throwing around buzzwords like she's playing progressive Mad Libs. An autocracy? Really? Last I checked, the GOP isn't rounding up political dissidents or censoring speech, unlike some platforms we could name. They're just saying, hey, maybe we should enforce the laws on the books. If that's autocracy, then Mary's one-woman boycott of Etsy is a full-blown dictatorship. Pot, meet kettle. Point 5. Moonstone Mary, the reluctant capitalist. Now here's where it gets juicy. After all of her righteous indignation, Mary pivots to the hard sell. Quote, feel free to visit me on Facebook at Moonstone Mary if you're interested in directly purchasing beautiful handmade jewelry. Oh, Mary, you sly capitalist, you. For someone who's railing against the rich and the heartless system, she's awfully quick to plug her side hustle. That's right, folks. Moonstone Mary isn't just a warrior for social justice. She's a struggling entrepreneur trying to hawk her beautiful handmade jewelry to the masses. Here's the kicker. She's terrible at it. Her Etsy shop has been open for 16 years and she's racked up a whopping 80 sales. 80. That's an average of 5 sales a year. I've seen lemonade stands with better numbers. Mary admits that she rarely makes a sale and probably spends more on materials than she earns. And yet, instead of reflecting on her business model, maybe her $75 beaded bracelets aren't the crowd pleaser she thinks they are. She's blaming Etsy for her woes. Because obviously the problem isn't her overpriced trinkets. It's those dastardly Alligator Alcatraz t-shirts stealing her thunder. This is peak hypocrisy. Mary's out here preaching about caring for all while quietly dreaming of capitalist success. She's against the system until it's time to shill her wares on Facebook, Pinterest, Gmail, literally anywhere, because nothing screams professional businesswoman like a .mp email address. Nice. Deep down, she is not anti-capitalism. She's just anti-other people's capitalism. If her jewelry sold like hotcakes, you can bet she'd be flaunting her wealth faster than you can say, eat the rich. But since the world has collectively said, no thanks, Mary, she's channeling her frustration into a boycott. That's classic loser mentality. When life doesn't go your way, blame everyone else. Point 6. Etsy's not budging, and neither is reality. So finally, Mary doubles down on her boycott, vowing to keep her shop on vacation until Etsy removes those hateful Alligator Alcatraz stores. Spoiler alert, Mary, Etsy's not going to do that. Why? Well, it's simple, because Etsy is a business, not a feelings factory. They're a publicly traded company with one goal: make money. Every single time an Alligator Alcatraz t-shirt flies off the digital shelf, Etsy gets a cut. That's profit, baby. And no amount of your sanctimonious whining is going to change that. Those shops aren't going anywhere, because unlike your jewelry, they're actually selling. This is where Mary's worldview crumbles like a stale quinoa cookie. She thinks her boycott is going to spark a revolution. The masses will rise up and say, "Yes, Moonstone Mary, we'll shun Etsy until they bend to your will." But in reality, nobody cares. No, not even a little bit. Etsy is not sweating her vacation mode, and neither are the shoppers snapping up Alligator Alcatraz gear. Mary's not leading a movement. She's shouting into the void. And the void is too busy buying funny t-shirts to respond. Now, she is literally the Karen archetype perfected. In the end, Moonstone Mary is the platonic ideal of the liberal white woman stereotype, the Karen meme made flesh. She's sad, bitter, unsuccessful, misled, and angry, all wrapped in a tie-dye package of self-righteous fury. Her post is a masterclass in delusion, a testament to the kind of person who thinks the world owes them something just because they're loud about it. She's mad at Etsy for selling stuff. She's mad at the GOP for enforcing laws, mad at the world for not buying her overpriced jewelry. But most of all, she's mad because deep down, she knows she's losing. She's losing at life, at business, at common sense. Mary is not a revolutionary. She's a cautionary tale, a walking, talking reminder of what happens when you let propaganda and entitlement fester unchecked. She's the kind of person who'd rather burn it all down than admit she might be wrong. And that, dear viewers, is why Karen memes exist. They're not just jokes. They're a mirror. And Moonstone Mary is staring right into it without a clue. So here's to you, Mary. Keep boycotting Etsy. Keep shaking your fists at the sky. And maybe, I don't know, just maybe, take a long, hard look at why nobody's buying your jewelry. I'll give you a hint. It's not the Alligator Alcatraz t-shirts. It's you. All right, quick legal note, just for fun. Please do not visit her store to harass her or bother her. Do not find her online and give her more grief. Yes, of course, this post was on a public forum with over 20,000 members. But it's just not right to make her life worse. Trust me, she's already got that handled. All right, that's enough for today. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this glimpse into true insanity. And if you want to hit that like and subscribe, that'd be kind of cool. I have more videos coming, so I'll see you soon.